Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about Munich is the new New Hampshire. And for those of you who don't realize, last week was the Munich Foreign Policy Conference, and many 2028 potential candidates went to Munich to show or flub their foreign policy bonatives. And one superstar failed miserably. And look, I have said this many times before, and I do not care if I get yelled at because it's not 2020 anymore. A woman candidate, Republican or Democrat, is not winning a presidential election in 2028. It doesn't matter if it's Kamala Harris, AOC, Mallory McMorrow, some other hot white moderate chick. Okay, 2028, a woman is not winning. And the first woman president will be a Republican, because if a Republican woman wins a Republican primary, she will be viewed as a legitimate primary winner. Where right now, as we've seen with, the 16 and the 24, that if a woman wins, it's going to be like, of course they picked a woman. The Democratic Party hates men. And there's this whole apparatus problem that maybe elected Democrats don't hate men, but without a doubt, most of the elected Democrats hire staffers who fundamentally hate the quote-unquote manosphere type of guys who are not soy boy cucks like in Adam Mockler or Harry Sison or David Hogg or the loser who runs Organizer Meme, those type of fucking losers, okay? Because it's very likely the staffers who work for these women candidates or elected women officials always, Kara Swisher haircut, or they attend No King rallies, etc. like that. You already know Kara Swisher haircut or they attend the No King rallies. Those are the only people who believe a woman can win in 2028. And also, those are the people who usually hate men. So, I don't know if you know this, but to win a presidential election, you kind of need more than college-educated women and the gays. Okay? And those three demographics overlap. Okay, and if you think just because Trump is not on the ballot in 2020, which we still have no idea about that aspect, men will come out to vote against people they hate with a passion because men are more vindictive than women. I thought the whole purpose of the Barbie movie was to show that high turnout elections mean women can't win. Okay, did nobody get the purpose of the Barbie movie? But anyway, let's go to AOC looking like a sixth grader who did not read a book. Because boy, it's hilarious. So, as you know, the New York Times has turned into this very pro AOC, pro Zoran type publication, and so AOC called Kellen Browning, and AOC said, "Everyone got the story wrong. This isn't about me running for president." She said, "Global democracy around the world are on fire in the world over," and she was doing her quote-unquote foreign policy was very Hillary Clinton-like, that it's America's job to be the world's police and intervene when it's close to defend whatever. But AOC seems to be very far from her base, and I understand that she's not a right-wing candidate, but the under 35, right, do not believe in funding any foreign country, which includes Israel, right? Which on the left is also do not fund any foreign country, which includes Israel, but fund Palestine, right? But overall, but I mean, on the left, it's don't fund any foreign country, but fund Palestine. On the right, it's don't fund any country at all, right? Like for the younger than 35. I'm a don't fund any foreign country type of guy. And I think there is a thing that Trump has and Rubio have said, that maybe each continent should have its own superpower that dictates what happens on their continent or hemisphere, instead of this bullshit version of the world order that has worked for the last post World War II. Because maybe things gotta change. It's not America's job to save Ukraine, or America's job to fund Israel, or America's job to save Taiwan, right? It's really just not the case. And AOC was presenting this, foreign police type thing, which is very, out of step. It's very neoliberal, 2016 Hillary Clinton style policy, which is out of step from, where, the new left is. Even, Ro Khanna isn't that type of person, because he kind of can see it on the ground that America shouldn't be funding any fucking foreign country until we get our shit together. What's happening in third world countries is not our problem. okay? There are fucking cities in America that look like third world countries. So we don't need to do this nonsense. And I know the PodSafe guys are like, what was that stupid organization that Elon Musk shut down? USAID, right? Still today, by the way, it's like 70% of the country is against funding foreign countries across the board, right? That means Israel, Palestine, Taiwan, Ukraine, etc. Just so we're clear on that. But AOC went on this, we have to protect democracies all over the world. No, and she kind of seemed like a child who didn't really know the flubs, like especially the Taiwan situation. And she said, like, I'm not trying, am I acting like someone who's trying to run? Yeah, you are. That's the only reason people go to this, because Gavin Newsom went. And by the way, Gavin Newsom also did not answer any of the fucking questions correctly, but he's just a very confident guy. And for those of you who still have not realized with Gavin Newsom, which is something we're all going to have to get used to, right? Because I don't want Gavin Newsom to be president. I want Gavin Newsom to be vice president. Because the job of the vice president of the United States is just to shit talk people on Twitter and attack the opposite political party, as we've seen with J.D. Vance. And by the way, we're 1 year into Trump 2.0. J.D. Vance has been far more fucking visible than Kamala Harris was for 4 years. Just so we're, like, clear on that part. And that's why people are, like, just grotesque by J.D. Vance. Like, people want, like, I think a Rubio-Vance ticket is much stronger than the inverse, because the memification of Rubio, where it's like, Rubio's now the president of Venezuela. He's the president of Cuba. He's going to be the ambassador to Canada. He is the Secretary of State. You know, he's the mayor of this. He's going to do his own super. Like, the memification of that is like, yeah, like, give Rubio all the jobs because he's very, like, adult and knows what to do. Like, Rubio has, like, managed to be, like, a MAGA person, but in a presentable way where, like, J.D. Vance is just, like, a psychopath. And J.D. Vance can't win because, in the sense of the matter is, like, the new right or whatever, they hate J.D. Vance because he's married to an Indian woman, right? And, like, in the same way where, like, they hate JD just for that, this is the same reason, like, Pete Buttigieg can never be the nominee. Because, like, look, Pete has been in the public eye now for 6 years. The man still has 0% with black vote of all ages, okay? And it is because he's gay, but no one wants to admit it's because he's gay and black people don't want to vote for a gay guy, okay? But yet, you know, you can kind of see this. Wow, 6 years, 0%. But meanwhile, like, Gavin and everybody else constantly goes up and down. Like, even Josh Shapiro has, like, black support, which just shows, yeah, people aren't going to vote for you because you're gay. And this goes into the whole other aspect is, like a woman isn't winning in 28. I don't think Pete is either. I'm sorry. I think Pete would be a good VP. But, like, also depends who the top of the ticket is, because, you know, like, when Kamala said the thing, like, I could never pick Pete because a black woman, gay guy, too much, I would have lost the election before a vote was cast, right? And the only people who yelled at Kamala Harris for saying that were people with the Kara Swisher haircut, like Rachel Maddow. So, like, just be realistic about the limitations of America. There's nothing wrong with that. To be very realistic. Like, look, I'm a Jets fan. I know Aaron Glenn's going to get fired by week 6, but we're going to draft Arch Manning in 2027. You see that? And, like, there we go on this. But it's just, like, look. AOC called a reporter, told him to run interference. Now you're obliged. And it's just, like, hilarious on this. But I do think it is weird that the New York Times is such a shill for, like, AOC and Zoran. Though they were trying to be a show for Cuomo, because I guess they kind of thought Cuomo was going to win. But it is what it is. Also, like, Gretchen Whitmer kind of also, like, shat the bed in her foreign policy situation. I have zero idea if Ro Khanna went to do the thing, but, like, you know, AOC hasn't been able to navigate any. Look, AOC should be senator in 2028, okay? She should elevate from the House to the Senate, and I think no one else will challenge her for that. Like, just let her be it. Because in reality, both senators from New York should be Pat Ryan and AOC. Like, Pat Ryan should challenge Gillibrand whenever that seat is up. But AOC should be senator. She should never be president, because she's still, you know, is she really a leader, or is it all vibes based, right? Look, I think all the women candidates are intelligent enough to know a woman can't win in 2028, but they're just going to be there to collect money from donations. Like, they all know this. They all know a woman cannot win. They are all intelligent enough to realize this, because none of them are stupid. They may hire stupid people to work on them, and maybe they'll change and not hire like annoying, cringe, hi, my pronouns are staffers, but them the facts, okay? Munich is the new New Hampshire, okay? And maybe Iowa is the new Brooklyn. Who knows? But it's just interesting because AOC is just like the frustration. Like, she's like, I'm not running. But you are, okay? Just like Gavin, Stephen A, and Josh are all like, I'm not running, but you are, right? Like, look, I'm running too. But you can't actually say you're running because then you're not allowed on TV anymore because of like the new FCC rules. But look, Paramount's gonna get fucking Warner Brothers now, so let's fucking go. Okay? Barry Weiss gets to destroy CNN, but keep Caitlin Collins and Jake Tapper. Everyone else I don't give a fuck about. But there you go.